Jersey craft beer. Jersey craft beer.
And we're live. Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the, I don't know what we call this, Facebook Lives, I guess. I'm not really sure, but we've done this a few times, so we're going to do it again. And tonight I have Angry Dad Brewing, a local Jersey-based brewery here that wants to talk about beer with you guys. So, as always, leave comments, questions, all that kind of stuff. I have the window open so you guys can comment away and I'm able to read them out or post them on the screen so everyone can get your questions answered as needed. And I'm going to pass the microphone digitally over to Sarah since she feels like talking first. I don't think she had a choice there, but she was talking louder than Glenn on our test. So she's going to start. And guys, this is Sarah from Angry Dad. Take it away and pass it on to Glenn when you're ready.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having us here. Sorry if you hear a whole bunch of dinging. My texts are linked to my computer, and I'm getting a whole bunch at once. So if you hear that, sorry. I'm really excited to be here to talk with everybody about Angry Dad and what we're doing. Everyone had a little bit of a rough 2020, so we're really excited about 2021. And now that we're in January and we're able to talk to a group of beer fanatics, this is like the best way for us to start. So at Angry Dad, I work closely with Glenn, who you'll speak to in a few minutes. And I work with, I do all the marketing and really trying to get into the community, immersing ourselves in there and grow and seeing what everybody thinks about the beer and a little bit more about what we're doing and our personality. I'm really excited to be able to do events like this. This is the first time, we've done a Facebook Live event. And I'm excited to see how all of this goes. So I don't really know what else I am supposed to say. So
I think that's it for now. Yeah, I'm pretty happy to have you guys on here.
I'm
So
going to assume you're going to pass the mic to me, right?
Yes.
pass a digital mic that way. Yep.
All right. Hey, guys, listen, my name is Glenn Foss. I am the co-founder of Angry Dad Brewing. My partner, unfortunately, couldn't make it on the call today. His name is John Sebastiano. We are a really dynamic team here, and we're really considered the new guys on the block right now, I believe, but we are really making a huge dent despite the challenges in 2020. We're enjoying the world of beer. It's a phenomenal, intimate community that we're slowly becoming a part of, and we're really feeling very welcomed in it as well. So for Mike to kind of have us on tonight and be able to talk beer, talk about our company and how this whole thing got started with us, I'm really super appreciative, super excited, and very, very, very passionate about what we're doing. So, Mike, I appreciate it. So
yeah, that's what it's all about. Well, thanks. Yeah, I mean, that's what it's all about. The way I got started was also just being a beer nerd, right? So I simply started this whole NJCB thing for driving on my way home from my day job that I'm still at every day, trying to figure out where to buy beer in the new place I live. So I was in one area for 10 years, moved to another area, I've been here 12, and that's why I started it, for purposes like that, just figuring it out. And so for you guys to start your brewery for whatever reasons you're about to tell us, that's what we're here for. So so go for it. Tell us a little bit about the history and what you guys are all about.
Yeah, yeah. So super interesting. I think like a lot of business models, there's a lot of similarities in which pathways we were going and what directions we were going. However, I think we took a huge right turn as compared to most because we are really wholesalers. So we don't have a set brewery, though we do have a phenomenal recipe that we took a lot of time, put a lot of energy in to produce it out there. And we work with some phenomenal people within the industry to help us get there. But, interesting enough, Angry Dad was a brand before it came into the world of beer. So I think that's really where we went different right out of the blocks there, because I think most companies create their brand around their craft, but we actually created our craft around our brand. So we came up with the Angry Dad brand probably about a year before we actually started really going to the world of figuring out a recipe and getting something that was really very palatable, very drinkable, very poundable type of beer. And the way we really validated our brand first, we actually would go to public events like Giant Stadium for Giant games and for Jet games. And we went there with a huge brand on our trailers. We would create these Angry Dad tailgate parties. And we were selling nothing. We were giving nothing away. We just had our logo, our brand that was plastered all over our vans, all over our T-shirts, all over our trailers. And we just wanted to get a proof of concept that our brand was very appealing. And within moments of time, we were flooded with people just wanting to know what we were doing. And then what the most interesting was, it really validated who really our market was. So when we really saw that there was an incredible response rate from men, boys, girls, but the female population was huge, attracted towards our brand. So there was a point there when people were really asking, where are we going in direction with this? This is when we really thought that, adding a beer, a craft, something desirable in this industry to really push our brand was the best place for us to go. And that's really when we decided that we had to really be very strategic on what recipe, or developing a recipe that would be appealing to everybody. And as we know, there's a heavy craft intellect out there, and there's a lot of people that aren't really beer favorable as well. So we kind of really want to really encompass them all type of things there. So we actually took our ideas and we went down to a wonderful group in Clarksboro, New Jersey. Chuck Garrity, actually, if he's on call, just giving you a big hidey ho. His team was really very, very instrumental in helping us come up with our recipe, our formula that we thought would be very, very effective in our market that we were really pursuing there. So they spent a lot of time, gave us a lot of patience, and really worked through us in that capacity there. And I think we really developed a home run that kind of went with that. So, now we had our recipe, then it was really the hard part. Those that are very familiar with it, we had to actually get our license from the ABC. We had to do something with our craft. So, it took quite a long time. It was a very tedious process, as everybody knows that may be on this call that can kind of feel my pain that kind of went through that process there. But 2019, we got our license, and away we went. And we took our recipe. We made a couple tweaks to it. Very sweet, very malty, very caramel type of recipe. Very desirable for those who really didn't drink beer. That was one of our goals, was to take people that really weren't familiar with craft and bring their palates kind of on our side, to say not everything is so hoppy, not everything is so bitter, not everything is so unapproachable, but to make it more of an approachable attempt to really expand people's palates and show them what a drinkable beer was all about there. So we now found a wonderful power partner, and we do contract manufacturing with a beach house down in Belmar, if you're familiar. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful group. Again, lots of patience working through us on this process here. And since that moment of time, 2017, when our first 30-barrel run came about, went into draft beer initially. The rest was really history for us until we went to cans and COVID hit, and that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, that's a great story, and it's pretty interesting to hear that people like Chuck and others were involved in the process. So it's definitely awesome to see that, and shout out to Death of the Fox down at in Gloucester County down there. We actually did I think it was yes, I did it when we were allowed to do events. I did a multiple brewery event that I think we started at Death of the Fox and worked our way around the area, and it was pretty cool to be able to do all this. And I love the synergy and the interconnectivity between the different Jersey breweries and the different players out there in the beer game.
Yeah.
And yes,
Mike. But what was so interesting to me, and this is my first attempt into this arena, but it was amazing how intimate the craft beer community is. I mean, extremely welcoming. There's no, shut the doors, shut the windows, shut the phones down. I mean, everybody has always been so open, so willing to share, and everybody seems to really be pushing for everybody else's successes out there, and I love that. And it's not common in many industries, I don't really think, but I think everybody's so passionate about their art and the artistry of crafting, and more so also that it's a tough business in general. We all know that as well. And I think we're all out there for each other to be successful. And I really appreciate that more than anything regarding that. So for my shout outs, I mean, everybody deserves it because I think we're all in the same boat. We really do.
Oh, for sure. It definitely is this relationship between the different breweries are all, and they're all in it together, because if one succeeds, kind of everyone succeeds, right? So, whether you do like the hop bombs or the malt or the malty caramelly sweetness, like there is a beer for everyone. And and I think having the approach that you're taking is pretty cool. But maybe when we switched over to you mentioned when COVID hit, right? So like everybody else, switching to cans and bottles is the way that, like, to a non-draft format, let's just say, is the way everyone kind of ended up switching to, whether it was tall, large format crowlers or 12-ounce, 16-ounce cans. Like, everyone switched. I even saw a whole bunch of breweries doing 4-ounce and 8-ounce cans, like just whatever they could get their hands on, or those 25-ounce oil cans. I've seen people with those. I mean, it was just a crazy thing. And then you guys obviously adapted with that or had to deal with that too. So
we were
but again, our story is just a little bit different. Go ahead, Sarah.
We were actually going to do that.
Sarah,
can you hear me?
Yes.
Barely, kind of in and out type of stuff. But go ahead.
We were actually going to go into cans before COVID, right? And it's just, we landed like a week and a half after everything shut down. And I remember being like, how are we going to do this and get people to hear about us when nobody's even allowed in the store? Which, we overcame, but it was definitely like really crazy that first few days.
Yeah. So, Mike, as Sarah was saying, that was the challenge. So we were very, very fortunate. We had Northern Eagle pick us up prior to COVID. They were moving a lot of draft routes at that time based on the demands. It was strongly recommended by them to get ourselves cans, which we did. And as Sarah said, I mean, we had 60-barrel runs. We had 820 to 840 yield cases of cans that just landed as soon as shutdown came. And I have to tell you what, you were not going to find a retail store taking on a new brand. It was lockdown, man. I mean, it was, if you made it into the store prior, you had a shop, but there was no one opening their doors for us to kind of do that in that capacity there. And I have to tell you, for us to really make a dent, because now we're sitting on inventory. I mean, we were guerrilla marketing, man. We were pounding doors at the curb to get ourselves in there. I mean, literally pounding curves, but we did it. I mean, this is the market, right? You got to be down and dirty to make it happen out there. But the timing was horrific for us in that capacity.
Yeah. It definitely. Whoa, we're having some feedback. Do you guys hear that?
Yeah.
I don't.
Let me
You
say
don't have an
something.
AOL
Sorry.
account. That's the problem.
I definitely don't have an AOL account.
I know. It's the big thing with you guys. I know. It's a generational thing. What can I tell you?
No, but yes, for sure. A lot of the breweries had to deal with switching on a hairpin. It wasn't even literally had to do whatever they had to do right away, right when that hit. So it's cool to be able to get your stuff out there, and I'm glad that you were able to get through that. And like having Northern Eagle, and I know their distribution points are basically like Hudson, Bergen, Passaic, a couple of areas, counties up that way. And then I know that you guys are adding on some more distro points. Maybe you can talk about that a little bit too.
Yeah, 100% on. So, just to get a feel, if you guys haven't seen it yet, so we got a can that's been like desirable. Like we walk in, people see the can, we get the smirk, we get the laughter. Everybody thinks it's me, but it really isn't me. Well, maybe it's me.
Put it right over your face, though, because put it right over your face, because that thirds you got to cover. Put it in front of your face. There you go.
I don't know. Could it be? I don't know. Maybe.
There you go.
I don't. Yeah, I think really what happened was I became him rather than I am him. So I don't really know. But so once we start getting into stores, Mike, I mean, we've been selling tremendous volumes of beer, which has been incredible because again, being a very drinkable beer, you don't really know that till you buy it, but it's really a nice brand and it's a real nice marketing piece. So people are going in there. So we're really super strategic how we're growing our business. So we recently took on our second strategic partner, which was Black River Traders. And they have been rock stars for us out of the gates. I mean, they're moving a ton of product there. So now Angry Dad Brewing has a presence from the Raritan Bridge north is where we're relying right now. And again, we got getting a lot of feedback for expansion again, but again, we just want to be very strategic in our growth. Don't want to outgrow our success. So we're really very, very, very strategic how we're growing. So our next step is to, I think we're going to have a good Jersey Shore year this year, to be honest with you. I think everyone's going to be in a whole different mindset. So, we're going to pick up, Middlesex, Mercer, Monmouth, Ocean counties, hopefully in early spring and kind of stay in that market and then keep ourselves, working ourselves north from that point on as well. But between Northern Eagle and Black River, I mean, they are absolutely killing it for us and really appreciate their efforts. Really great stuff.
That's great. Now, you talked about the beer a little bit. So talk about a little bit more about the beer itself. You said it's a multi-flavor. Is there a specific style you went for? And dive into that a bit.
So again, Mike, I really wanted to get a recipe that was really very non-threatening. And again, we felt to get the majority of the population, not the minority of the population. And though there were a lot of executive style beer drinkers out there that really have a very high means for hop and that high heaviness of broadness. I still think in general, in the beer drinking world, it tends to be the minority of the population because there are a lot of people that just don't drink beer. So we wanted to try to appeal to everybody. So we thought a non-threatening approach was to go into the world of ambers. And so that's really what we modeled after. So we took an amber. We really kept it very, 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 very low IBU in that amber. So we still wanted to have that craft feel to it. So you still knew that you were in the craft world. But we really kept it that it's, your aftertaste is very sweetened. So we're really strategic again. So we have, 3 types of real sweet base malt. So, we run our honey malt, crystal, and victory type of malts is where we run it just to keep that real sweetness in there is what we did. So again, it's a very non-threatening, very crushable type of beer. It's the beer you want at your tailgates. It's the beer that you want when you're out there hammering and partying. That's the kind of beer that we wanted to create in that capacity there. It's a 5.5% ABV, so you can really have your share and still be safe. It's not the 8.5 plus to kind of fall off the bar stool type of beer, but it's I think it really meets everybody's expectations.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, that's a lost art right now, is like sessionable beers, and a lot of us know, a lot of the people in the beer industry know why, but at the same time, having a 4 to 5.5, 6% alcohol beer is, you know, standard at this point, right? And a lot of these sessionable 4% are great. A lot of the 5.5, and then you hit that 6.5, and like there's a ton of beers that are between the 6.5% and like that 8.5% in that category, and those there's a lot of transitions with those different kinds of brands, and it's cool to be able to have something in the lower ABV. And you're saying, and it's a 12-ounce can, correct?
Yeah, so we were influenced to stay with the 12-ounce can, and be somewhat non-traditional at this point. Everybody's pushing the 16-ounce pints, but we did our market research on it, and we came back that people miss the 12-ounce can. It's not, in the craft beer world, there's not a ton of them out there, and people tend to have, enjoy the less volume beer rather than a full 16-ounce to 20-ounce beer. So, and that's why we went that way with the 12-ounce. It's been great, moving a lot of it. So, it's well received. Yeah, it's been super, super, super interesting out there, though. But again, as I said to you earlier, we didn't want to lose the population that has been veering away from the craft world. We wanted to really show that there's really palatable, enjoyable, less threatening craft style beers out there that you can really enjoy, with whomever you're with. I mean, it's really was our strategy with that.
Yeah, I think that's important. There's, like I've always said, and I mean, everyone has in the beer industry has really said, there is a beer for everyone out there. And when you find it, like give it a try. There's tons of this, there's tons of beers in the world, and there's a ton of choices. If you were on the shelf and looking on the shelf and you see something that stands out, give it a try. There's, if you don't love it or you love it, awesome. That's the best part about how this whole thing works, right? Like, so there's no wrong or right thing out there. People just need to give everything a chance. And if you end up, if you don't love it, cool. And if you guys realize, hey, our customers aren't buying it anymore and we got to switch our recipe, eventually you might tweak. You might release a second beer, like with the way in the state of New Jersey, with the way your license is, you're able to make more beers and have different brands through the distributing license. So it's pretty cool to be able to do that. Obviously you can, the harder part is doing a test of the beer, because without having your own production space, but at the same time, there's, home brewing it, or test batches at legal, able to, like, legally producing places is able to test it out and kind of things like that. But it's cool. It's definitely cool. And so I know that, it's early into the new year, and so obviously everyone wants to be able to go outside and go down to the beach and like have some beers and hang out, and like also get out of your house a little bit more. So hopefully soon, with whatever's happening in the next few weeks with all this lovely stuff we're dealing with, but eventually I think that's a cool thing. And currently, if you're north of Raritan Bridge, which is crazy because half of that is still Middlesex County and half south of Raritan Bridge is Middlesex County. But there are definitely distributors that confuse me every day on who covers what part of that bridge. But because it happens, like even some of the distributors that cover this town but that town, like there's a place that in two different counties cover it. It doesn't make any sense, but I'm not a map, so I guess I'm more logical than whoever invented the state or however that worked. But but it's pretty cool to be able to try your beer in all the different areas, and we know Black River Traders. A lot of the people listening will know that they have some of their brands around. Um, you've seen they have out of state brands, but they also have a few in state brands. The So it's good to see that, and I know that in the future, there will be um, more beer for people to be able to try. If you see that out there, give it a try. Do you guys have any future plans with that being said? Like, are you thinking about anything else, or are we just focusing currently on the one brand
Yeah.
just to get it
So
out there for now?
that is an awesome question. We're right now we're just focused on our one recipe. We want to really own the market in that area. So really, before we kind of jump into something different there again, as I try to be super clear here, is as passionate as are in the world of craft, we're pushing our brand, and we really want to be able to attach our craft, our recipe to our brand. I figured once we start outselling Yingling, we're going to put on our second recipe. So at least we have our goal set there, type of stuff there. So, but it's going great. I just want to own what we're doing right now. I want to really feel good with it. I don't want to dilute what we're doing at all. I think we're on a great run here. Hats off to Sarah, is our marketing guru. She's just crushing it for us in all aspects, social, all the way through branding. In our brand, it's going incredibly well with that. And just to kind of go a little bit what you were talking about, what the next year is going to bring. So, before year's end last year, being that everybody was so cooped up, if you remember, Megabytes ran their Oktoberfest at Englishtown, and it was I'm sure there was plenty that are on the call that were down there, were at that event. It was just an amazing event. It was a beautiful day. He must have had at least 1,200 people through the day, and everybody was walking and really enjoying their craft. So I'm going to give a little plug coming up too. So I know most people are aware that May 22nd is going to be their Spring Fest as well. Same thing in Englishtown. So Megabytes did an unbelievable job. So just for hopefully we get as many people registered for that in our craft world in New Jersey down there. And I'm sure it'll be well attended as it was before. We had a great showing in October. And I anticipate the same for this May as well. So I'm looking forward to really meeting all our fans. Really am, just to kind of shake a hand, give a high five, give a COVID elbow. I don't know what you got to give these days to make it right.
I know it changes every 2 seconds, doesn't it?
And kind of go through that. So that's going to be a really fun event that we can all start looking forward to. That's pre-summer, pre-Jersey Shore, and really get ourselves ramped up for that event. It's going to be a really amazing time for us. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, and if anyone's looking for where to find us, just hop onto our website and just go to angrydad.com/brewlocator, and you just pop in your zip code, and you'll be able to see where the nearest liquor store that carries our 6-packs or where we are draft. So just check your zip code, and it'll pop up there. And just because we're flying off the shelves, I always say call before you go, just in case they sold out and didn't restock yet.
Yeah, there's definitely I'm all for that. I think the Spring Fest coming up is going to be a nice little kickoff to people getting out of the house. I didn't announce this to all the members yet, but there'll be a pretty good discount for them, and at that festival, it might even be I think whatever it was last time, probably the same, maybe more. Now there also might be a little thing we do there with multiple breweries. We're working on that, so just keep that in mind. There are a lot of things that have to be approved by the state of New Jersey still to announce all that stuff. But once that's all through, we'll get it all out there for everyone. And yes, visit Angry Dad's website and check it out. Try some beers. Someone just posted on the comment that they just got some beers today, and they're gonna drink them up. Maybe not all right now because it's Monday at 9 o'clock, but you never know. I'm not drinking one of them tonight. I'm drinking more caffeine, but I would suggest everyone try some beer. And I think the interesting part about this is that, often I talk to brewers and people in the beer industry, and it's been quite some time personally through NJCB to talk to a brewery that started as a not brewery, right? And now I understand, dabbling in the homebrew side. I understand not dabbling, and I understand it's pretty cool to be able to have to talk to you guys where this was done out of like this idea for, making something that appeals to everyone while at the same time making something that had almost nothing to do with beer to start, and then it turned into a beer project, right? And it's pretty cool to follow that. So, I think it's an interesting concept, and I'm looking forward to being able to drink beers with you guys when we're allowed to, and try all this kind of stuff, and COVID elbow bumps, foot fives, whatever, real high fives, all that kind of good stuff. And so thanks for coming on. And if you guys have anything else, now's your time, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, so again, I just want to thank you again for the opportunity to be in front of such an amazing audience. Man, you got some following, so to even give us the opportunity, I certainly appreciate that. Remember, as we drink it, it's an amber ale, so judge it as an amber. That's what it is. So it's really important that you do your untapped reviews and kind of go through that process. Review it as an amber. That's what the beer is, type of stuff. So if you feel you can give us the review that we deserve, I appreciate it. I beg you to take the picture with your beer can. Make it a come on really moment. That's our tagline. So make it a moment of time. Take a good picture for us. Throw it on tap. We can really use the reviews. We're doing exceptional with that. And again, I am looking forward to meeting everybody on the 22nd of May and really chilling, listening to some good tunes, and really rocking the moment, man. I'm really looking forward to it.
Awesome. Untap reviews. Oh, that's like a 4-hour conversation. I don't think anyone wants that. But yes, give them some good feedback. All the bottle caps or whatever. You'll notice that I never rate or review any beers, but ignoring what I don't do, feel free to give everyone as much. I only rate and review my own beers, like the collabs I've made. But give them a follow on all the social. I think we already tagged it on the Facebook event, but obviously just your Google it up, or if you go to NewJerseyCraftBeer.com and you go to the brewery and brew pub page, you'll see it listed there as well in Passaic County as the county. That's how I have everything organized. And that's it. Thank you guys so much, and stay safe and all that good stuff. Thank you, followers, for following along. And don't worry, this will be on YouTube for you that aren't watching live. So with that being said, we'll see you guys next time.
Cool, man. Thanks, Mike.
Yep.